Hello everyone, I am Amritchesa C.H. Mara, first year MSW student from Kristu Jayanti University. So today I will be talking about the client-caseworker relationship in social casework. So let's get started. So first, let's continue with the concept. So the term relationship in casework was first used by Virginia Robinson in 1939 on her book called A Changing Psychology in Social Casework. So the term relationship in casework was first used by Virginia Robinson in 1939. So what is a relationship all about? So it refers to the responsible and disciplined use of the caseworker's self in helping the client. It means the caseworker uses themselves responsibly to help the client. Next, the relationship is a channel through which the client's capacity are mobilized. This means that the relationship helps to bring out the client's strength. And next, it is a medium to help where attention can be focused on reality problems, both emotional and practical. So it focuses on real problems, both emotional and practical. Okay. Next is a casework relationship in professional with the purpose of assisting the client to solve personal or social problems, which means the relationship is professional with purpose to assist the client with their issues or social problems. Okay, now next, moving on to next slide, I will be talking about nature of professional relationship. So if you look into the old book of P.D. Mishra's Social Work Philosophy and Method, yeah, there you will find nature of relationship, where it states that in the democratic framework, the relationship involves. So it means that in social casework, the relationship between client and worker is democratic. Next, mutual process of shared responsibilities, recognition of rights and acceptance of differences. So here it means both share responsibilities and recognizes each other's rights. As I have said, it is democratic. They share responsibilities, recognizes each other's right, and they also accept each other differences. Next, it focuses on growth through socialized attitude and behavior. So the relationship focuses on helping the client through social attitudes and behavior. Okay, now next, it is not isolation, but a dynamic emotional exchange and interaction. So it is not about being isolated, it is dynamic exchange, dynamic emotional exchange. Okay, now moving on to next. Next, we will talk about two types of relationship. So according to Hollis, there are two types of relationship in casework. So the first relationship it talks about is basic relationship. So what is basic relationship all about? It is a foundation of all casework practice. It helps the worker to function professionally, built on empathy, acceptance, respect, and non-judgmental attitude. It creates trust, open communication between worker and the client. So it is the foundation of all casework practice, which means the starting level. And why it is called basic? Because it exists in every professional interaction between the worker and the client. The main goal here is to build trust, empathy, acceptance, respect, and non-judgmental attitude. So here it focuses on supporting a client on small issues or reasons. Like for instance, if a caseworker helps a student adjust to a new school or helps a person to find a job, that's a basic relationship because the worker supports client, but it's not deeply emotional or therapeutic yet. Okay. Now, next, we'll talk about special relationship. So what is special relationship all about? It involves therapeutic elements beyond the basic level. It helps the client to understand feelings and make emotional adjustments. Uses professional skills such as interviewing and reflection. Requires maturity and self-awareness from the worker. So this relationship, it involves therapeutic elements. Why it is therapeutic element? Because it focuses on understanding the client's feeling and make emotional adjustments. Which means it focuses on understanding the client's inner feelings and emotional conflicts, not just their external problem. Okay. Now next, it uses professional skills such as interviewing and reflection, which means here the professional skills are used such as interviewing and reflection, even analysis and emotional insights, which will help the client to gain self-awareness and emotional adjustment in life. At last, it requires maturity and self-awareness from the worker. We will talk about characteristic of caseworker-client relationship given by Perman. So Perman have given 7 characteristics. So first characteristics he talks about is vital relationship between people arising out of shared and emotionally charged situation. This means the relationship usually begins when the client is in an emotional charged situation. When they are stressed or confused in pain, the caseworker provides a safe and understanding space for them to open up. Okay. Now the next characteristic he talks about is growth producing relationship that includes acceptance, expectation, support, and stimulation. So it is growth producing because the worker accepts the clients without judgment, believes in their ability to change, supports them, and motivates them to take small positive steps in life. Okay. Now, the third characteristics is about it is marked by conscious purposeness. Conscious purposiveness, knowledge of what must be done to achieve the goal. So it has a conscious purposiveness, which means both the worker and the client know the purpose of their meetings. Every session has a clear goal and direction. Okay. Now the fourth characteristics he talks about is begins when the client shares their problems and the worker demonstrate both empathy and professional competence. So the relationship begins when the client share their problem and the worker respond with empathy and professional skill. That first moment of trust is what starts the helping process. Now the five good characteristics is the relationship may have therapeutic values. Hence, this relationship has therapeutic value and the worker's understanding and acceptance can be emotionally healing. That it helps the client to feel hopeful, confident, and understood. Okay. And the sixth characteristics it talks about is outside difficulties may intrude into the relationship and must be managed. So sometimes Outside difficulties like family or environmental issues can affect the relationship. So here the worker must manage these challenges professionally and stay focused on the client. And last characteristic is that the caseworker also has emotional reactions, and managing them is a part of professional skills. So lastly, the caseworker also experiences emotions, but they must control their feelings and remain calm, patient, and professional throughout the process. Okay, hope this is clear. Um, in conclusion, I would like to conclude that the client caseworker relationship is the core of social casework. It is purposeful, time bound, and professional, yet deeply human, based on trust, empathy, and understanding. So, when it's handled with skill and care, it becomes a powerful tool for change and personal growth of the client. Thank you for watching. So, the book reference I give is the old book of P.D. Mishra, Social Work, Philosophy and Methods.